Hi guys, how's it going? In this video, I'm going to show you the actual effects of a stag do weekend on my eczema and what I did when I got home to help heal it. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Harry. I've had eczema for the last 12 or 13 years or so, and over that time, I managed to heal my skin naturally. So first things first, here is the stag in all its glory. It wouldn't be a stag weekend if we didn't dress him up in the airport, so here you go. We headed over to Montenegro and it was a really lovely time. Beautiful sun, which is obviously really good for my skin, but that was where it just about stopped. We did have a nice boat trip and that took us round some lakes and out of the bay into the ocean, and seawater is really good for my skin, so that was one of the few positives that came out of this trip. So when we weren't out and about, we were just chilling at home at the villa, taking it easy. The weather was beautiful, it was really sunny, it's like 30 degrees, and there's a pool, chilled in the pool, cooled down. So as I got out the pool, dried down, and I got a really peculiar flare, which I haven't had really before. I had lots of hives coming up all over my collarbones and my neck. Really quite uncomfortable, but wasn't the same type of eczema. There wasn't the classic itch that you'd have at night time, or wasn't flared and that it got red, but just lots and lots and lots of pimples, which is really quite weird. I've not had that before. What that tells me is that the eczema that I do have on my body, it's not, although it might not be red, it's still not got a proper barrier function, and any pollen or dust or even chlorine just really aggravates it. So I'm here now, I'm sat inside, I'm living in London, there's not much pollen around, it's quite comfortable, but I do have eczema and it is still there, and it's really easy to trick yourself into thinking that, oh yeah, brilliant, I'm healed, when actually you're just heavily sheltered in your environment. And when you put yourself out there, you realize that, my skin actually isn't 100%. So for drinks, I actually had my first beer in about 18 months, and I wish I could say it was good. It was absolutely rubbish. It was whatever this monstrosity was. My friend got it for me. I was a bit hesitant. I thought, yeah, you know what? Fine, I'll have one beer. It's not going to be the end of the world. But it was just absolutely awful. Really regret it, but it's one of those things. Next time I'll have one. I'll try and make sure I have a better one, because, yeah, what a waste. What a waste. But the other times I was having something which is probably just as bad. I was drinking lots of fruit ciders and just ciders. So yeah, if you have eczema, basically drinking an eczema is never going to be a good idea. Alcohol is a histamine. My eczema at the moment is influenced by histamine intake, so it's just never going to go down well. Alcohol also really disrupts your sleep and disrupts the healing process and all the natural things your body goes through when it's nighttime. So, hey, it is what it is. That's the point of this video, is to highlight, what happened. So when I got back, long flight, it's been a long weekend in general. I'm heading home. It's a Monday, I've taken the day off, and I'm thinking, you know what, it's 2 p.m. I still haven't really eaten very well, but I've just got a bad hangover, I'm hungry, I just need a curry. Okay, we've all done it. So I went to the local Thai restaurant and I had a lovely, lovely curry. Started off with this starter soup, down a treat, Thai green curry, crackers, rice, the full works, of course, down the hatch. It was beautiful. That was like my breakfast / lunch meal, my first meal, I should say, of the day. And then it was back to the flat, had a quick nap, and then we'd go about resetting from the weekend and going forward. So on my way to the shops now, I took a quick video of my elbows. You can see the extent of the eczema. especially on the left arm, you can really see the outline. And it's hard to see because on the face of it, I don't have lots of eczema. But then when you actually zoom out, you realize, oh, his whole arm is eczema. So yeah, that's what it looks like at the moment. Not really itchy, but I know it's going to degrade a little bit. This is the sort of, calm before the storm. When your eczema is red, it can sometimes not even look that bad. It's just coming through the surface and like, oh yeah, like I've got a bit of eczema at the moment, whatever. It's relatively comfortable. It's not dry, it's not itchy at the moment in my case, it's just sort of there. When my eczema heals, that's when it goes dry and flaky and can be a bit more uncomfortable and looks a little bit more inflamed, or it looks a little bit more aggravated. When in actual fact, that's the skin healing process. The worst point of your skin is if it's soft, slightly red, and just like an underlying, eczema. When it's starting to look a bit more like blanched, or the pigment has gone, or it's flaky and scaly, that is when your skin is healing. So that's exactly what you want to aim for. So back from the shops, this is my haul and this was my dinner. It's essentially just lots of veggies, get my digestion moving. I'm gonna have this for a couple of nights in a row. The key is for variation. So I had this one night, then the following day I had a whole new set of veggies that I'd have for my lunch and dinner. So just 3 veggie meals in a row, having lots of different carbs, by which I mean vegetables, and yeah, just resetting that digestion, getting my body moving again, and trying to flush out everything from the stag weekend. And then the last thing I did before going to bed, calling it a day, is I went for a run. And it was really hot in London, so took it easy, but I was able just to get my body moving, really worked up a really good sweat. Again, I find the more I sweat, the sort of better my skin is overall, whether it's, even just my face. I don't have eczema at the moment on my face, but just my skin feels so much better. And yeah, I was able to get all my pores working, get some of the toxins out, and I know for a fact tomorrow my skin, this flare is going to start dampening down and my skin is going to be more dry and flaky and uncomfortable, but that's the beginning of the healing. It's when it looks the worst. So let's check it out. So you can see here along my neck, it's super dry. You can see the crease at the edge of my neck there, around the back, even my eyelid looks super dry. The back of my neck is really dry, behind my ear, super uncomfortable. But this is the effect of a stag weekend, and this is actually, it looking quite good. This is it healing. So when you see someone, or if you have skin like this, you should be encouraged. That is brilliant. Don't be put off by what your skin looks and feels like. Don't think, oh, this is horrendous, I can't make it any better, I'm trying all these things. Keep at it, because that is when your skin is starting to heal. When you have flaky skin, that is new skin below coming through, and there's new skin in the post. And if you stick to it and stick to your protocols, then that new skin will push through and the flare will eventually dampen down. And then you're left with post-flare skin, which can be slightly pale, but you're through the worst of it.